to another exciting episode of your favorite show, Random Conversations, with your favorite girl here to serve you as usual.
Random Conversations with Domi, RCT.
On today's episode of the show, we will be talking an interesting topic, a topic that is geared towards informing, towards educating people, and towards also reaffirming certain things. Of course, you are aware of what it is, but you need to re-understand, like a time to relearn, to learn and relearn what we are talking about. And so I'm talking about investment. And to do justice, I have with me an amazing person as usual, a super special person. He said the swelling voice, okay? I'm talking of the #1 bishop of real estate in Africa. As in, yo, I feel so honored, I feel so excited, I feel so elated, I need English. I feel so. I'm here with Adeni. Thank you for being on the show today. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, man.
All this poshness. Alright, so like I said earlier, we are talking investments, and being the #1 bishop, guys, now I will start, don't go, being the #1 bishop of real estate in Africa, you obviously are overexposed to.
I am
It's trying to be humble, but I mean, you understand what I'm talking about,
I'm trying
right?
to be exposed.
Okay, you're trying to be exposed.
Yes,
okay, in your head, in my head, is something else. Alright, so what is investment to you?
All right. I will sincerely say thank you for having me on the show today.
Thank you.
I am Adeni, as you've introduced, and popularly known as #1 bishop of real estate in Africa. And I want to say that you are doing a great job on this show, and I commend you, man.
Thank you.
So investment. What it means to me will actually be as it concerns what I do, which is real estate. So investment, it's I would say that it's a medium or a channel where liquidity or money is put into for the purpose of getting returns on whatever the money is put into. That is having a certain amount of funds, you put it into a particular business, so to say, or you put it in a particular form of a return, a return on investment channel for the purpose of getting more than what you have put in. I don't want to. I'm trying to avoid the word invested because we're talking about what investment means. So, e.g., you buy a property for 1,000 naira today for the purpose of expecting to resell it for 100,000 in the next couple of days, weeks, or years, as it concerns the investor. So investment is a way of doubling, increasing your money that you put in today, yes, in any business for the purpose of getting returns in an assured manner that you don't have to fidget around.
Okay. Alright, so having established that part now, what are the factors to consider before investing on whatever you want to say that's what you want to invest in?
Okay, so when you talk about factors to consider, now you have to look at one, a very good understanding of what you are putting your money into. So there's a need for you to understand that first. That's okay. What knowledge do I have about these particular investment that I've chosen to put my money into? E.g., you want to put your money in treasury bills. You don't just go into it because people are going into it. So what knowledge do you have as it concerns treasury bills? Now if you want to go into real estate, I mean, it's not just putting your money into real estate that matters, because one day I was speaking somewhere in one of the hotels. There was a particular conference going on, and a guy said, "Oh, sir, you have told us to properly put our money in places, buy land, resell, buy house, resell, do this and that." He said, "But I bought a property, I mean, that in the last couple of years, 6, 7, 8 years, it has not appreciated." He said, "So, I mean, what you have said, what you have told us is actually different from
what is happening."
So, and the next thing I did was I just asked him a very simple and sincere question that, okay, can you tell this house the location that you have invested this money in? So, and he mentioned the place, and it was one long name. And you know, when the name is too long, there's a problem with it. So, after mentioning the name, I said, "Oh, even you cannot put that address on Google Map and it will take you there. It can't." So there's a problem from the beginning because it lacks the understanding of what he wants to put his money into. So the place of understanding the area you want to put your money into is a very great factor. So once you understand it, then you can now begin to look at what is the likely return, the likely ROI that I'm expecting on this is another factor. Having a good understanding of what to expect to get, so that when you don't get it, you will know that there is a problem. Then you know what to do at that point. Then you talk about another factor which has to do with the place of, I mean, knowing when to reinvest or to liquidate. So you can put your money in a particular location as a realtor, for instance, or as as a speculator. You must know whether this is a time to resell that property or a time to reinvest, that is to buy more, you know, from whatever you have gotten as your return on investment. So these are just 3 factors you can look at. So when you are buying, I understand the fact that this is a good location with wonderful infrastructures, and because of that, all possible infrastructures that are coming to play. So then I know I'm buying because of what understanding I have about that location and what the government is planning to do in that particular place. So then when I now understand that, so how much am I expecting? What is the calculation? What is the percentage I'm expecting to earn from this if I put my money into it? And after that, then we now begin to talk about the place of, okay, the third part. So that's talking about when I am to likely liquidate or to reinvest. So these are factors we could consider.
Okay. You talked about certain things here. I'd like to know, when it comes to investments, is there a lifespan? I don't know.
Okay. So when you look at what is being defined as saturation points in economics, now there is a point where you actually enjoy a particular product, and in the economic graph you see how we have the graph going up, and it gets to a point where it doesn't shoot beyond that point, then it begins to dwindle. So now there are places where as an upcoming investor in real estate, I wouldn't subscribe to you putting your money there. Not because the places are not good. There are premium areas, but it cannot appreciate beyond what it is at the moment. Okay. So people who have actually invested in such areas at a younger age, or years back, they watched it grow to what it is. So, and as it stands, it may not grow beyond that point again. It begins to dwindle. So, to that end, it will answer your question that is there a particular lifespan? So So you must understand that's the place of getting to understand what you want to go into when you talk about location. So when you want to invest, you should look at the place of, what is the growth rates of where I'm putting my money, so that you won't come in at the time it has expired. Okay.
Okay. All right. So having also explained all of that, see, there are some people who, even with their level of exposure, still fall prey of investing wrongly. So how is it right to invest? What's the proper way to invest?
It's important for you to be guided when it comes to investments. So we have to look at the place of study.
Okay.
You know, there's a need for us to study journals, newspapers, looking at all forms of, or even online, where you can have, you can educate yourself as it concerns investment. So you could know, okay, what is actually, which kind of business or which kind of investment can I go into? So because there is always something that is always telling us where we can invest and when we can invest and how we can invest. We have educative journals and different what do you call it now? Different write-ups or articles that you see online talking about what is going on, opportunities flying everywhere. But of course, not all opportunities are actually takeable.
Sure.
So, like my father and the faith will always say, not all open doors are from God. So there's a need for us to read and also ask questions from people whom we think have results to show. Now, sir, can you kindly educate me where I can put my money in? So they would have something to say. But of course, the motive or what is guiding them as it concerns where they put their money may be different from your motive. So because you may be looking at other areas of, when your investment yields, other areas where you can put your money into, or what are those things, reasons why they actually put their money into that thing could be different from what you really want to achieve. Somebody could decide to buy a share in a particular company for the purpose of sentiment, quote and unquote. So because my brother owns the company, my sister owns the company, and in that case comes to tell you that you should come and buy a share in that company. What benefit will it be to you if it's not going to do well to you? Okay, if you have invested in your brother's company, or if I've invested in my brother's company because it's my brother and I know that even if it goes bad, I won't feel bad because I've only supported his business. No, so when I bring you on board to come and buy from the same company, then you should ask questions. Because if it goes bad, what is your gain in it? So there's a reason why people do what they do. So there's a need for us to ask questions.
Random Conversations with Domi, our city.
Much more importantly, feed your mind with information as it concerns what you get online and by books. So there are money master classes. In different places where you can actually learn how to invest. There are teachers who have gone ahead who talk about investments. We have many of them online that you can listen to, that you won't have to write your fingers. You understand what I'm saying? So it comes in different ways.
Alright, we've come to the end of today's episode of the show. Many of them, it's part of them. So take note. Those that you can learn from. His name is Adeyemi Adeniyi, the MD Tron Value Investment. That's all we can take on today's episode of the show. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you've learned. I hope you're more exposed now to investments. Come here next time. I love you. Stay safe.